Get ready for a thought-provoking journey as we dive into the world of constitutional debates and the power of amendments. The Living Constitution, a Battle for Interpretation. In her captivating new book, Harvard professor and renowned writer Jill Lepore presents a compelling argument for viewing the U.S. Constitution as a dynamic, evolving document. With a staggering 600 pages, Lepore's work challenges the conservative legal theory of originalism, which dominates the Supreme Court and has rendered constitutional amendments nearly impossible in today's deeply polarized political landscape. Originalism, a controversial theory. Originalists believe that the views of the Constitution's writers in Philadelphia in 1787 should be the sole guide to interpreting its meaning, even in a modern world with advancements like cars, planes, AI, and rights for women and minorities that the founders couldn't have foreseen. Lepore, along with many scholars, finds this notion absurd. She describes originalism as a diverse and complex theory, but some originalists insist on a simplistic interpretation, limiting constitutional understanding to Madison's Constitution, his notes, the ratifying convention records, and the Federalist Papers. However, these sources were not readily available or widely cited for many years after the Constitution's creation. The irony of originalism. Despite these limitations, originalist justices continue to remove rights and facilitate a lawless presidency. Lepore highlights a fascinating irony. The Federalist Society, an organization founded by conservative students in 1982 and now an engine of originalist thought, chose Madison's silhouette as its logo. Yet they amended Madison's image, giving him a more attractive nose, which Lepore finds amusingly ironic. A new perspective on constitutional history. Lepore's book, We the People, is a sequel of sorts to her best-selling work, These Truths, An Inclusive American History. It contains compelling accounts of the Constitutional Convention, the road to ratification, and the struggles and triumphs of the amendment process. Lepore emphasizes the study of possibility, believing that exploring failed amendments reveals a rich narrative and political importance. Characters and context. Lepore brings to life the stories of often forgotten Americans who fought for change, like John and Mary Jane Richardson Jones. Free black abolitionists in pre-Civil War Chicago. She also highlights Victoria Woodhull, a bold suffragist, and Birch Bayh, an Indiana Democrat who attempted to abolish the undemocratic Electoral College. The book also features those who opposed change, such as Mary Guthrie Kilbreth, an anti-suffragist, and David J. Mays, a proto-originalist and segregationist. A vision of an organic constitution. Lepore's vision of the Constitution is one of an organic, living entity, constructed from biological matter and the struggles of those who built the nation. She describes a powerful scene where Francis Lieber, a Prussian-born professor, lectures on constitutional law in Manhattan, just across the road from an African burial ground containing the remains of 15,000 black New Yorkers. A call to action. Lepore hopes that her book will inspire readers to see themselves as part of the constitutional process, believing that everyone has a role to play in drafting, ratifying, and amending constitutions. Her work is a reminder that the Constitution is not a static document, but a living, breathing entity that reflects the struggles and triumphs of generations past and present. So what do you think? Is the Constitution a living, evolving document, or should it be interpreted solely through the lens of its original writers? Join the discussion and share your thoughts in the comments.